You ready?
Are you ready?
Yeah. How about you?
No.
Boy, it seems really strange sitting over here.
Does it?
Yeah. I mean, I don't do well with change.
So much change.
So much change. So much change.
The biggest change
Is?
Sunday in the sanctuary again.
But you know what?
But not short term.
But you know
But
what?
not because of weather. We're in the sanctuary for worship.
8:30 and 11.
8:30 and 11 for the foreseeable future. I mean, I just say that because we don't have any plans to be anywhere else.
Well, no.
I'm sure we'll go back in the summer at some point in time outside for a picnic or something like that.
You know, speaking of picnics, it was a grand picnic last
Grand.
night. Yes, it was.
It was grand. I'll tell you, there
Very
was
well attended.
too much. I left feeling over full.
Well, I didn't leave feeling over full. I felt full enough, but
Yeah.
you know, I didn't. You and I have different.
The chicken was good.
Was it?
It was. Yep.
Well, I mean, I did. Wait, are we on? Hello, everybody. This is Wednesday, August 31st, 2022. And this is Canonsburg United Presbyterian Church, 112 West Pike Street, Canonsburg, PA. This is Reverend Don Coleman. I'm just a piano player, Kenton Clink.
Just a piano player.
Yeah, just a piano player. Really, why would you have me talk?
By the way, how did you know it was still August today?
Wait.
Go ahead. Come on.
Wait, I can do this.
Okay.
30 days, half September, April, May, June, November. I don't remember. Say it for me.
30 days, half September.
Okay, I knew that part.
April, June, and November.
April, June, and I'm never
For a guy who does music, I would think your rhythm. Oh wait, never mind. That's why.
Now you're criticizing my rhythm. Okay. Well,
you know what? Christmas. Right, it's going to sit there. It kind of looks like a obelisk.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it has a little thing in the middle.
Yeah.
And it goes like this.
No. I never used
that's
one
Christmas.
of those.
You can tell.
And we're not going to start either. Okay. Look, you know what? I never had to worry about rhythm until you brought your guitar in.
Got rhythm.
I got music.
Who could ask for anything more?
That's exactly right.
Rhythm. We could ask for.
Now, before there were guitars, no one questioned.
You mean before there were guitars in
guitars in worship?
In this place in worship, gotcha.
Wait, let me say that again.
Mm-hmm.
Before there were guitars in worship.
Now you look like the people who would say before there were pianos in worship.
Exactly.
Yes.
Well, but I brought the piano to fruition. I mean,
yes. I am not bringing the guitar to fruition.
No, well,
I would love it if we had some.
I think you do a fine, a bang-up job.
Adequate.
Oh no, more than
throw
adequate.
Pillow.
And you practice. I mean, and I'm trying to get you to sing more.
Yeah.
You just have a problem with that.
Yeah, I feel like I can do one or
the other. But not
singing
both?
and playing, it's just different. I don't know.
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard sometimes to play and sing. That takes extreme coordination.
Yes.
Back to the picnic, though.
Back to the picnic.
Yes. I waited with Dawn, like I said I would, until the end, although I looked up and he was already up there getting food.
I was last.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't say, hey, Kenton, come and eat, because you didn't look up and say, well, I wonder where Kenton is. Oh, no.
I figured you had already.
No, I looked up and there you were in line. So because there was like a couple people after seconds.
So people had already had seconds.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's what it was. So I got up, and there was another gentleman there waiting in line for seconds, and he wanted pie. And I said, well, go get your pie. He said, no, that would be rude. I said, go get your pie. But anyway. So I start down the line.
Yep.
Everybody.
Salads
you announced to everybody
that
you had chicken for Kenton.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I go down the line, and there's lots of good stuff, man, and I'm putting it on my plate. Mm-hmm. And I had looked around the corner, and I saw hot dog buns, and I'm like, jam, I'm going to have hot dogs, okay? So I get to the chicken. There was plenty of chicken.
Plenty of chicken.
Okay? I got around to where the hot dog buns were. Mm-hmm. There were buns, and there was no hot dog. Oh. So I missed the hot dog, and I missed the chicken. Not that I went hungry, because I ate a lot of everything else.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Oh, and somebody made some olive spread.
Olive tapenade. I don't know who it was.
Oh, my goodness
Good.
gracious. It was
good.
Delicious. Yeah. Oh, my, I could have just eaten that.
You could have.
But I couldn't, anyway, I ate more than that. And then, our friend Al Barker, our friend that shows up here every week for the video here, promised to make a berry pie. After our video last week, he said he was going to make a berry pie. Well, he shows up on Sunday.
It was good.
Was it? I wouldn't know.
Really? Why?
I didn't get the berry pie either. But yet...
I didn't even take the last piece. There were 2 pieces left.
I know. I told you who was eyeing. And when I went over to the table, there he was eating it. But it's okay.
Yeah.
That was all okay, Steve, because you know what? I walked away from the entire experience feeling blessed by it. It was a good day for all who attended.
I thought, it was we had guests there and family members, and we had kids, and
there
we
were
had adults.
Guests there. Who was the guy all the way over on the left? He had white hair and a white beard. They were sitting in their own chairs.
Yes, I think that was some family members, some parents of some members.
So maybe. Okay.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know why they'd want to come on a day where they're going to sit in the sun and worship, but okay.
I thought it was great.
Hey,
I know our video. I watched it afterwards, and it was a little backlit. Something to think about for the future, but yeah.
That's where the sun was.
Yeah, we could have put a green screen up there. That would have been
a green screen. Well, then you could put something on the green screen.
Actually, what we could do maybe Sunday in the sanctuary, we could start putting up a green screen, and then we could pretend like we're outside, but be inside.
I would rather pretend like we're at the beach.
That's outside, right?
Yeah.
Outside could be anywhere.
Well,
we could travel the world.
We could.
We could get a green screen, put it up there. We could even do that for our videos.
We could. And you know what else we could do?
What?
We could take short trips together to different parts of the country.
Exactly.
And do these videos on Wednesday and just take a quick trip back again.
Yep. Grand Canyon.
That's pretty far away.
We
would have to fly.
I was talking virtually.
Oh, no, I'm talking about we're going to the Grand Canyon. Why not? Why?
You snore.
Speaking of snoring, so the guys there tuning my piano yesterday.
Of snoring.
The guys there tuning my piano.
And while he's tuning your piano, he's snoring?
No, not him.
Oh, he brought someone else with him?
No, it was just me and him. Okay? Is that too hard?
So you were snoring?
Yes. I went back into the back room and I watched a little TV because he needs quiet when he's doing that.
But you were snoring.
So I turned the TV off and went to sleep. Mm-hmm. I slept 3 hours, okay? Got up, 3 hours, I tell you. Got up and went out and said, I went to sleep. And he says, I know, I heard you. And, I never believed I snored that loud. I mean, I've been sleeping in front of you. Did I snore? Where you have never been asleep in front of me.
Not that I recall.
No, because you don't trust people.
That's right.
I know. You don't.
Mainly because I sleep in one place at one time.
You have to get in your safe spot. I understand.
My bed in my room.
Oh, I know. It'll all be okay. Someday you'll just be able to sleep where you put your head down.
I can sleep. I don't. There's a difference.
Well, but you don't. I think sometimes you equate tired with weary.
No.
Well, because there's not an off switch for Don Coleman.
That's not true.
It goes off at about, 7:30 at night.
No.
Unless there's a meeting.
You know where I also sleep, too? Airplanes.
Oh, I can't.
Yeah.
I try.
I get
but
tired.
You can't put your head back.
Well, that's what one of the best things I ever bought. It's a little bulky. It's not perfect, but neck pillow. If you travel, neck pillow, yeah.
And then you just...
Yeah, it doesn't move at all, so it keeps your neck, it supports your neck.
Yeah, but you got to go like this to go to sleep.
No, that's what I'm saying. I don't have to.
Well,
I can sleep. It's painful. If you don't have it, you end up with a crink in your neck because your head eventually falls over.
Well, and I don't want to sleep on the person next to me if I don't know
That's what
them.
I'm saying. I don't do that. No.
No, I mean, if I know somebody, hey, I don't mind.
Yeah, I won't do that.
They're going on. I'll sleep on their shoulder.
Bridget and I don't sleep on each other either.
Well, that's kind of personal. TMI. Well, I mean,
we've got our own space. She's on there. I'm on this side. Yep.
Who created that?
Oh, that was both of us. We're in sync when it comes to that.
And
oh yeah,
don't touch me.
Oh, that's great.
I mean,
what's a
while
bed?
I'm sleeping.
What's a bed for? Sleeping. It's cuddle thing. We can get the cuddle thing, somewhere else. We go to bed. It's like let's go to sleep.
Well, you cuddle with your children.
Yeah, they don't actually want to that much anymore, especially.
I know it's pretty
for their
funny.
ages. Yeah.
You know what? That's pretty funny, Don, because those kids used to be all over you.
Yeah,
and they're
maybe
not anymore.
Yeah.
You miss it, don't you?
No, I tickle them though, so that's not a problem. This is like
Do you still tickle them?
Oh yeah.
Well, I still kiss and hug them too.
There you go.
I mean, they know it's coming now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're resigned, especially the boys. They're resigned to it.
Yeah. Oh well.
Yeah. I mean, I already told Brennan when he graduates, I'll be the guy yelling from the bleacher, "I love you, Brennan."
Ah, that's assuming he does. He's got 2 more years still. You never know.
Yeah, I could be gone.
It's got to work. Oh yeah, that too.
You could be gone.
I could be.
You're not going to.
I don't know tomorrow.
Well, I don't know tomorrow either. But as far as I'm concerned,
you mean leaving or dying? By the way, what were you talking?
I was talking about dying.
That's what I was talking about. Yeah.
Well, I was talking about you leaving. You could be gone because you're younger than I am. I mean, not that young people don't die.
They do. Sadly, they do.
Very sadly, they do.
Yeah. By the way, if you want to go there, talking about death, this is a great subject, isn't it? Death.
We go around to it all the time.
Hey, one thing. Sunday, gonna preach
this Sunday.
This Sunday in 4 days. I had to count.
Glad you have those fingers.
Yep.
Yeah.
4 days. Going to preach on a Psalm 46, that often is read
at funerals.
At funerals, yeah.
What's the reference?
Psalm 46.
Yes.
Well, it includes probably the most famous portion of it is "Be still and know that I am God."
Okay.
So, but yeah, it's a great psalm of comfort. And there's a lot in there too. It's not just I don't know. You get a quote about something and it's like this is its sweet spot. Everything else, man. There's a lot in there. It's not just pigeonholed. Be still and know that I am God. It really encompasses everything that we look for. There's a lot there. Yeah. But so one of the things that there's a whole lot going on in the world, right? A whole lot. Whether it's this country or whether it's going to work or raising a family this whole anyway. And some you talked about the beginning of change, right? Mm-hmm. So, and sometimes change in all its facets elicits a tremendous amount of anxiety, right? Mm-hmm. Yes, it does. I mean, you almost flipped your lid about sitting on this other. Well, no, you didn't. Yeah, that's okay. You can tell them. But it wasn't me that had the anxiety. Okay. But you sometimes change happens because you make it, right? Yeah. Sometimes change is forced on you by other people or circumstances, and that's negative. Like say change. A fire. Yeah. And speaking of the fire, but go ahead. I was just saying. Finish your thought. So there's a whole lot of change and anxiety that comes with change, or the fear that comes. Hey, things might change, and I really do think that this Psalm 46 has a great word about that for us, and so that's why I thought it would be good. Yes, I thought it would be really good. We're going to start a new series the following week. Oh no, a series! And others, okay. This would be good. You actually would cliffhangers. Yeah, here we go again. But how am I going to be? Why? Well, we're calling it "Take a Walk with Me." I like it. And so we're going to look at several different. You know what? That's probably the name of the song. It might be. Yeah. Maybe we could write one for the series. We could. Yeah.
We could.
Done.
We'll do it after the video.
Okay, all right. Yeah, you don't want to, songwriting is not something you want to publish. You want to publish the song, not the process.
Although the process can be very amusing.
Amusing, yes.
Yes, very amusing. Especially when you try to get words to rhyme. And they don't have to rhyme.
No.
But some people are,
they twitch if it doesn't
rhyme.
Yeah,
they do. It's just like me resolving a chord at the end of the
song. I was
going
to go there, too.
Yeah, I have to resolve the chord. It has to end in a major.
Yeah.
It's very hard for me.
Yeah, you twitch.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, there you go.
But back to the fire real quick.
Yeah.
For many people watching, you might not know that I lost everything in a fire almost 2 years ago now, and I have moved back to where I lived before the fire. And from the time that I moved out of what Dawn referred to as the closet I was living in the interim pastor, or in the interim time, interim pastor, see, he's gone already. In the interim time between the fire and now it was just wearing on me. And I have been in a sense of renewing my spirit in these last few weeks, because I'm so much more content where I am now, with room to move and nice new things and a nice new construction, and it's just it's a better life. And not knowing that 2 years ago, and to realize that God does always have a plan, and the fire was a real blessing in the long term.
It reminds me of, so when we came 8 years ago, now a little bit over 8 years ago.
8 long years.
Yes. So we, our house in Ohio didn't sell as quickly as we had hoped, and so we actually spent close to, not quite, but close to a year in kind of, limbo. Transition and limbo, right? We renting a place in Washington, because finding a home, this was crazy, finding a home that you could rent in the Canonsburg area was next to impossible. There was nothing for rent, especially for a family. You said, hey, I've got a 1-bedroom or maybe a 2-bedroom.
Right. Well,
Anyway, we spent all that time kind of in limbo and waiting and anxious and looking, and then finally we ended with the house that we have. And I remember moving in, and
because you drove up the street.
Oh yeah, we were nosy.
You drove up the street.
Oh yeah, many times.
Yeah,
but I remember once we got settled, it was funny because it felt like just a moment. That time in that interim, and if I could have gone back and told myself, hey, you know what, you're going to have a wonderful house in the neighborhood of the church. You're going to be surrounded by great people. It's going to be good.
Going to have Kenton.
It's going to be really mostly good. If I had told myself that, how amazing that would be. But just that moment is such a brief. Here you are, you're in this closet.
Yeah.
It's not home.
No.
It doesn't feel like home.
No.
And yet, now you're back in.
And now I'm back into the same spot, which with all different finishes, all different furniture, a different bed to sleep in, a different place to lay on the couch and watch TV, more TVs. It's just, but I have to tell you that the first night I got into bed and went to sleep, which was a big thing because I'm not a bed sleeper, but I didn't have a couch yet. So I got into bed, I was at home.
Yeah. And that's and you would have never wanted to go through that journey.
Oh my goodness, no.
And yet when you get to the end,
you
get back home. Here you are.
I hope that I'm a better person because I went through what I went through. I mean, I really do. I hope it brought something out in me that positive that wasn't there before. Because I'm sure that's what God had in mind too.
The growth.
There
again, I wouldn't say that it's not like God.
Well, no, absolutely, He didn't.
No, but Paul says God works all things together for the good. So it's like God is always at work. Terrible things happen, but God can still use those terrible things to bring about something that's good and beautiful.
And that's true on a personal level too. We often wonder why, speaking of death, why some people get to drop dead and enjoy that themselves rather than suffering and dying. Christ didn't even get that opportunity. He had to suffer and die. So when people are, I know it's harder on those left behind when someone just passes with no...
Yeah. Oh, wow. Didn't think it was going to happen mid-sentence.
See, there's no reaction. He could care less, dead or alive. He'd still prop me up there and say, play something. That's what would happen.
I would.
Yeah, but anyway, so your sermon this Sunday, that will be good, Be Still and Know That because we need to do that. And I really think, I've been thinking a lot about unchurched people lately and what they are truly missing by not being a part of a church community and worship on a Sunday morning or a Saturday night, whenever it is, wherever you do it is. But what they're missing, the hole they have, the hope that they can't possibly realize that we have in knowing Jesus Christ, in knowing that He is real, in knowing that's His word right there, and He walks with us and talks with us whenever we want Him, all the time, all knowing, all seeing, all God. I mean, I just don't understand how people can't see how we are more joyful because of that.
Well, it's funny that you say that because I think, when you look at the landscape in the world, I mean, there are people who have taken the message of Jesus and have co-opted it in ways and who have not acted in that same joyful, peaceful. And I do think that some people have looked at that and said, that's your Jesus, I don't want that. And that's tragic to me. I mentioned it on Sunday, because we were talking about we were talking about Samuel, and Samuel had heard from God.
I could only smell chicken.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
But Samuel's boss, he's a little boy at the temple, and the priest Eli, his sons, had done terrible things in the name of God.
Yes.
And I think people looked at that and said, well, if that's your God, I want nothing to do with him. Get me out. I think the same thing happens today.
It does.
You hear constantly this pastor or this Christian or whatever does this thing, and if it was me, there's ample information out there, and it gets amplified.
Of course it does.
Well, if that's your God, I don't want anything to do with him.
Right.
And so it's so very important for us to be able to make sure that we are presenting the right things, that that we are loving, that we can look at this and say, yeah, I really hate that person or that group has done that to give Jesus the bad name, but you know what? We're going to do the right thing. We're going to love. We're going to show peace. We're going to show comfort. We're going to come alongside you.
And teach you.
Yes.
And teach you that God's love is unconditional.
Yeah.
And hopefully our love towards each other is unconditional.
Yeah.
That's very hard.
Even when someone hurts us.
Yes.
Yes. Constantly.
Yes, you have to forgive.
In public.
You have to forgive.
Pointing out our faults.
Yes.
Yeah. Making fun of us online.
Have I ever done that? Made fun of you? I mean, the reference last week to your eyebrows.
My therapist.
Your therapist
has the notes.
She has a note?
But I think, yeah.
I didn't know you saw a therapist. I'm glad.
Thank you.
I'm glad. I was suspecting a little mental health issue.
Hey,
I
know
didn't
what?
want to bring it up.
Yeah, no, it's good. We should all have mental health.
Well, we should.
Working
number one,
towards that. Yep.
Please, we got to tell the truth before somebody believes it. You're actually.
No, they don't take notes on you. No, they don't take notes on you.
But
anyway, so your point. You don't even remember what your point was, do you?
I had a point. What was I talking about?
Put it back in the pencil sharpener to get it, sharpen it.
What was I talking about?
I don't even remember. I wasn't paying attention.
Man. There you go again. All right.
Actually, hey, here's this brings
unconditional love.
Yes.
But go ahead. I remembered.
Did you want to say anything else about
well,
that?
It's just that we do have unconditional love. I have it for you, and you make it so hard sometimes.
I do.
But yet, no matter what, I end up saying at the end of all that.
Yeah.
I love him.
Yeah, I love you.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And we say that, we should be able to say that to each other.
Yeah.
I mean, I made a few new friends over this last summer, and even over the pandemic, that I wouldn't have made before. And also in attending our men's breakfast.
Yeah.
I've made some new friends. And that's all good.
Next Saturday, right? Not this Saturday.
Next
Saturday.
Probably the second Saturday.
Second Saturday of the month.
Tim, there you go, man. A plug already.
Second Saturday of the month.
And that will be, let me see, September 1st is Thursday, 2nd, 3rd, the 10th. Saturday the 10th, 8 a.m.
Saturday the 10th, 8 a.m. Great
fellowship.
Free breakfast.
Free breakfast. The bacon is great.
And there will be a women's
Oh, yeah. Women's are starting up at 9:45.
Yeah.
Is that Saturday, too? Wow.
Big day.
Wow. That is a big morning. That's a big morning. Are they cooking or are they buying their stuff and bringing it in? See, we men, we cook. I mean, not we, but they cook.
I'm sure it'll be good.
The food's there when I show up.
It did bring to mind something that I mentioned beforehand. There's a space here. I was thinking maybe there might be some ideas of how to fill it.
Well,
no, that's not what I was thinking about.
This is not it.
No,
I'm sorry.
What I was thinking.
Are you uncomfortable?
Just a little bit.
Right.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
No, I was thinking that maybe,
Don't say it.
Yes.
Don't say it.
Maybe.
No, don't say it.
We should.
Don't say it.
Have some people
Don't say it.
sit, maybe not physically here, because again, that might be a little uncomfortable.
Well,
we can maneuver.
We have to squeeze it in. I don't want to
interview some people.
I just enjoy this time with you so much.
I think it'll be
I don't
great.
want to give it up.
Let's open it up.
I don't want to give it up.
Closed-minded.
See, there you go again. You want change.
Not
okay?
change, improvement.
Oh,
I think it'd be great. So here's the deal. If you've got some suggestions about somebody that we could talk with,
that would be fun.
Add,
Yeah.
I would love that.
Please send a suggestion.
If you want to.
Yeah, if you would like to be here one day with us, you're more than welcome.
Yeah.
We would talk.
You can find out that there's really nothing different when the camera goes on than when the camera goes off. It's not like...
Right, there really isn't.
No.
But actually, it's probably better when the camera's on, because at least we have meaningful conversation of some kind.
Yeah, well, actually, when the camera's off, there's no... it's like those newscasters that hate each other and don't talk, and then the camera turns on, you're like, oh, hi, and it turns off and they pretend they don't exist. That's our...
That's not us. That is not us at all.
I've heard about that before.
Me too.
And I'm kind of like, I can't imagine how you could do that.
I know.
Especially when it's 3 hours of your day and you're sitting beside somebody and you hate them or you've grown apart. I don't know, whatever.
Well, you'd think it would come across through the newscast that that's occurring.
Actors.
Oh, I mean, big time actors, not newscasters, actors instead.
Yeah.
Well,
I was never a good actor.
Yeah. What?
I wasn't a good actor. I couldn't
what?
fake
You are a ham in front of the camera.
Yeah.
You're a ham in front of the audience.
Yeah, it's different.
I mean, well, me too. I mean, me too. But back to be still and know that I am God.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I think that's just a really important message to go out to everybody. And,
I agree.
And if you're listening to us, tell somebody else to listen to us. Share these messages because sometimes they're not meaningful. Today, it's turning out to be a little bit meaningful.
And you know, it reminds me.
No, don't say it.
There is.
Don't say it.
You know it.
Well, I know what you're going to say.
What am I going to say?
Play something.
No, not play something.
Oh. What?
Play that song. Don't you know that one? Be still and know that I am God.
No, I don't know that one.
No, really?
I don't? Do I?
I thought so.
How's it go?
The words are, be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am the God that healeth thee. It's kind of just a chorus.
Oh,
it's real simple, but I don't know with the camera, and I feel like I don't think I could get the. It'd be a little pitchy.
Really?
A little pitchy, dog.
No,
that would be yeah.
No, not you, pitchy.
Yeah, that's
it's not
the end. It goes down.
It's not a melody that's used for something else.
No.
Just that.
Yeah. I thought you would know it, but no.
No, it's funny. I don't.
Okay.
Is it? How old would it be?
I don't know. Older than me.
Oh. So it was like a Sunday school song?
It could have been, yeah. I don't know. It's like these things, you hear them, and you don't know when it started. It could have been the day before I was born. It could have been 50 years before I was born. It just happened to be there when I was,
I know. I do know. It amazes me. Well, when you look at the copyright on How Great Thou Art, and the copyright on I'd Rather Have Jesus, you'd be surprised how recent they are compared.
But haven't they been around for forever?
No, just since the 1950s.
Yeah, isn't that?
That's amazing. That's just amazing.
Yeah.
But that was Billy Graham and his entourage.
Well, yeah. There's a lot of
they took. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But that song's been around forever. It's in the hymn book of my great-great-grandfather.
Well, actually, in the old hymn book, it was pasted on the.
Really?
Yeah.
Which one?
How Great Thou Art.
How Great Thou Art.
Yeah.
Really?
Now, this one we have pasted, Here I Am, Lord.
Here I Am, Lord, yeah.
Just the words. Now, unfortunately, in the old hymn book for How Great Thou Art, the accompaniment was there too. If you notice,
How Great
this hymn book we have now, Here I Am, Lord, there is no accompaniment there. Again,
I'm not going to throw anybody under the bus. I don't know who did that.
I'm just saying, again, I get so much pressure about I've got to make something up.
Music happen, yeah.
To go.
By the way, am I wrong that it was a pastor who got that song put into the hymn book?
Into the hymn book, it probably was.
Former pastor. What kind of? That's power. That pastor had a lot of power. I think so.
I don't
to
think
get
so.
the hymn book changed.
Well, I think that's respect, not power.
Well, they got it in there.
Well, pastors.
I can't even get them to use the.
Well, the hymn book.
No.
The Bible.
No, we use the Bible.
You know what? Though I think as much as you read the Bible in church, as much as we read the wall, and we did buy new Bibles. I think we really should encourage people to grab their pew Bible or to bring their Bible to church and have it so that when it's time to read Scripture, we are reading it out of the Bible. I know that you can get it on your phone or you can look at the screen, but it's also, I think, it's just a very good thing to hold that.
There's something about that. There's also, I will say this, there's also something about looking up.
Absolutely.
So it's like there's good things about this, there's good things about that.
Yeah. But I think humility comes with holding that book and looking down and reading the words.
Yeah.
And the holiness of us all is more enhanced by holding that book.
Being other. That's all right.
No, just the holiness of the whole Scripture part of church is enhanced by holding the book, the book.
You can. It's right there.
Well, I know that, but I think we should encourage that. I think we really should. I think that people. I mean, that's a humbling experience. Then you're going to go through the book and look if you don't know your Bible like that.
Yeah.
Because it's not in alphabetical order of the Bible.
It's not.
No, it's not.
No.
Even I still get lost in there.
What would be? I don't even know what the first book of the Bible would be.
If it was in alphabetical order?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of.
Exodus?
No, Deuteronomy would be before
that.
Yeah, but
the
first or second. It all depends on what do you do with the first and the second. So does that does that numbers trump the letter? And if so, then you'd be looking at probably First Chronicles would be the first one.
So
I can't think of any.
In what order are they put in there?
There's a well, I mean you've got the first 5 books of the Bible, commonly referred to as the books of Moses, not because Moses wrote them, but there's basically the book of the law, also referred to as. the Pentateuch, lots of different names for those first 5 books of the Bible. So you have basically that you've got the books of history, and then you've got the books of wisdom, and then you've got the prophets. So those are your 4 sections of
the Old Testament.
Of the Old Testament, and there's a loose chronology within them. But you get to the books of wisdom, which are very different. They're not even they're not even really much stories. Psalms, Proverbs, Job.
Although there's overlapping.
Exactly, yeah. And the book of history, too, even within them, the first one would be Joshua. There's some jumping back and forth within them. Joshua, Judges, Ruth, Esther jumps way out into the history. So, sometimes, it's funny you should ask that. We are talking right now. I'm losing track of time. There's nobody watching anymore. But
that's okay. I think there are.
We're looking at the possibility of planning for maybe a church-wide look at reading and studying through the entire Bible in a year.
Oh, that would be fun.
Yeah. So it's a possibility. We're looking into some of that stuff. Probably it takes a while to plan it. So maybe in a year from now. So I did that at a former church, and it was a great.
I bet it was
a great experience.
I bet it was.
And it picks up some of these things, and it gets people who've said, "I've never read the Bible through entirely." Here's an opportunity.
Well, and the other thing is that besides giving you the opportunity to read the Bible, and even giving you the opportunity to worship and have that experience over a year, it gives us a purpose to come back next week.
Oh yeah.
Next week we're going to talk about this, and next
connected.
week we're going to talk about this, or he's not going to talk about that for 5 weeks, so I'm not going back for 5 weeks. Well, there are those out there.
Hey, there's all kinds.
Yeah. So we know that we can't please everybody.
No. And one nice thing about that is that if you are, say you're away, you're traveling, you're sick or whatever, but you can still follow along, you still be connected, with a reading plan, you can be reading that through the whole time.
Right. Oh yeah. I think, and I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that have not read the Bible from cover to cover.
Yep. And I think probably, honestly, the best way to read the Bible isn't exactly from cover to cover. There's other ways. It can get. I was just talking with somebody the other day at the picnic. They had reached out and they said, "Hey, I made a commitment to read the Bible," and they shot me some questions over email. They're like 2 books into it, and I responded. And then I caught them at the picnic, and they said, "Yeah, I didn't get back to you because now I'm in Leviticus, and I've got a whole bunch of questions." And I'm like, "Yeah."
Come on.
Sometimes with some of those books, it's like there's a purpose, but if you're reading through, you kind of just gotta. It's like a snowplow. You kind of just got to put your head down, plow through it. Yeah, I read through it.
And you do. And I think sometimes when you do discipline yourself enough to plow through, as you look back on what you read, and I hope that as you're reading, you're comprehending, as you look back on it, there is something that's applicable to you personally. You picked up something personal. And I think that's so important on anything that we can personalize the Word of God, and we can personalize our experience in worship. I think a lot of times preachers, when they preach, don't get around to that personalization part of the gospel, mostly because they're out of time.
It might be the picture.
I mean, if
nobody's paying attention anymore at the end anyway.
Well, that's really not the case. Not if they know you're going to end in 20 minutes.
Yes.
If like you, they come in and sit down and think, "Oh, how long is it going to be today?" I mean, they don't realize that if they're not listening, they're missing the cliffhangers for next week. There's a "Who Shot JR" line in every one of his sermons, okay? And you just have to be ready. He tells you what he's going to preach on, and usually he does a pretty good job on it. He's a teacher and a preacher.
Look at that.
And he's a shepherd.
I'm not going to be able to get out of the room. My head's going to be so big. Hey, speaking of which, we are kind of running out of time.
Are we?
Yeah.
Well, I've really
attention span. If you don't want to play, you don't have to. That's all right.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
I think that if we skip the play part, though, the viewership might go down. Not the viewership is important. I think it's more important that we keep on doing it. That's all.
I think as long as people are enjoying this and finding encouragement, and
that's certainly
that's what the goal is. Yeah,
that's certainly our goal.
Because we can touch base without being online. That's not the issue.
Well, but no, I know that you and
you and I can. We don't need to be.
I mean, you'd have to put it in your book and mark it down on your calendar.
Once a month or so, we would talk.
Once a month.
Once a month. Yeah.
That's like.
Do you want to play?
Of course, I want to play.
Okay. All right.
I hope you guys enjoyed last week's movie extravaganza that we had going on there. Not extravaganza because it wasn't long enough, but I did play a lot of movie music last week.
Well, I'm eager to hear what you got this week.
Well, I was thinking about TV music.
Okay.
I really was thinking about TV music this week. So I'm going to throw some non-TV music in there too.
Okay. All right.
But I was thinking about TV music this week.
Dramas, comedies.
Well, sit right back and hear
I was
a
thinking Gilligan's Island.
tale of a
Fateful trip.
Fateful trip.
It started from this tropic port aboard
Started
this tiny
from this
ship.
tropic port aboard this tiny ship.
Yeah.
The ship set sail from a desert.
No, the ship set sail. That's what. Yeah.
With Gilligan.
The skipper too.
Marianne. No.
A millionaire and his wife.
The movie star.
And then if you get into the second season, not just the first season.
The Professor and Marianne.
You're on Gilligan's Island.
You know what? I saw. Well, you saw too. Did you go to Universal Studios Hollywood?
Yes.
Did you see the lagoon?
Yeah, that's the lagoon. Did they use that lagoon?
They've used that lagoon. If you look at the beach, at the end of the lagoon, it was Gilligan's Island. They also used it for Jaws.
Yes,
because
the
Jaws
sharks,
came
the
up
sharks
out
in
of
there.
Yeah,
you see that.
Yeah, which I found interesting that was all in the same place, and it's also interesting that the house from Psycho is still standing.
Yeah,
I mean that's crazy. That's crazy.
Great movie.
Man.
Great movie.
Psycho.
Yeah.
Have you watched it?
Yeah.
All the way through?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Junior high. Never watch any of the sequels. It's not the same.
Oh, my goodness. No, even if Anthony Perkins in them, they're not the same.
No. Great movie. Spinning around at the end.
Oh, yeah. And, I've told you this before. Another great movie is Hush, Hush, Sweet Charlotte.
I'll take your word for it.
Betty Davis, Joseph Cotton, Olivia de Havilland. You don't have cable, so you can't talk to your...
No.
But you need to search and find... It's black and white. But you need to search and find it because that is one...
Is it as good as Casablanca?
I've never watched Casablanca.
You need to watch Casablanca.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
It's great. Great movie.
Casablanca. What's the famous line from that?
There's a lot of ones.
The music.
Play it again, Sam?
Yeah, but what's the music?
Oh, I couldn't tell you.
Oh, yes, you can.
No, I really don't remember this song.
Oh, come on. I can't remember either.
Yeah.
That's, again, movie.
That's a movie. You're looking TV. So go ahead and give us some TV music.
Okay.
And we'll go from there.
TV music. before you go, those last two choruses that I played are choruses out of a couple contemporary pieces that we sing in church on Sunday. And so for all of you who sometimes think, oh, I don't want to hear a guitar, and I don't want to see a microphone, or I don't want to see that take place, that music that you just heard is drawn from that music. So there is beautiful music to be heard in some contemporary tunes today. Don't shut them out because we use the word contemporary. It's all beautiful music, and we all give it up to God. See you next week.